Samuel
Onuha,
entrepreneur, a multi-millionaire.
he is on the rise.
Straight from the trenches, did 20 million a year like last year. What is going on, my bro? You good?
It was a good intro, man.
You can reach financial freedom. You can travel where you want. You can party when you want. You can do what you want.
You want to be different, right? I think it's time for a crazy story.
He was the face of a new generation of entrepreneurs, young, smart, and rich. A self-made success who built a multi-million-dollar fashion label at just 18 years old. A true Shopify millionaire. But then it all went terribly wrong, and he paid the ultimate price. But behind the perfectly curated feed, something darker was brewing. Something the world wasn't supposed to see. In March 2025, Samuel Onuha's empire came crashing down. Arrested in Dubai, accused of leading an international cocaine smuggling operation. Is this what happens when you can't handle the money and the fame? Long before Dubai, long before the Lamborghinis and the millions, there was a boy from a quiet village in the Netherlands, Samuel Onuha, son of a Nigerian father and a Dutch mother. Growing up mixed race in a small town wasn't easy. Samuel would later speak about racism, exclusion, and a burning drive to prove himself. He didn't come from money. There was no safety net, no investor dad, just ambition. At 18 years old, while most of his classmates were focused on school and weekend parties, Samuel was watching tutorials about dropshipping, Shopify, and Facebook ads.
I grew up quick. Also, when growing up, my mom got sick often. She has a bipolar disorder. You know, anything about the bipolar disorder is they turn against the people they usually love most or they care about most, you know? So even me as a little kid, I got a lot of shit on me back then. My brother, my stepfather included. Went through some crazy situations with that, you know? Often police got involved. But I love my mom because she is also the one that never held me back. She's a smart woman, but she knew or she saw that I wasn't the smartest in school. Of course, she tried to push me to get a degree, but as soon as I found ecom, she gave me all the freedom to pursue it.
Anything that could teach him how to make money online. It started with trial and error, small wins, many failures. But one thing was clear, Samuel was in it for the money and he wasn't going to stop until he had it. He tested products, lost money, changed suppliers, learned copywriting, improved designs, failed again and again. At one point, he was working nights at a warehouse packing boxes for someone else's dream while building his own during the day. Sleep became optional, hunger became motivation. In 2018, he launched Icon Amsterdam, a men's fashion label focused on one thing, fitted trousers that made you feel successful, even if you weren't. Samuel understood something most fashion founders didn't. It wasn't about the brand's products, it was about the brand's feeling. Every cent he earned, he put back into the business.
Every month, minimum $500,000 in profit, but most of the times it's $1 million in profit or more. And I'm mostly celebrating who I've become and how I've transformed everyone around me, my family included, my brother included, my team members included. It's just a movie right now, bro. And last year, we did 20 million in revenue, which was crazy because the year before that I was really struggling financially. Also personally, I had health issues. This year it's just been a roller coaster.
Crazy.
So of course I had to step out and celebrate.
And when things started working, he brought in someone he trusted most, his brother Ruben. Together, they scaled fast, leveraging influencer marketing before it was mainstream, creating exclusive drops, mastering paid ads. They weren't just selling products, they were building a movement.
Went back to Amsterdam, being put in touch with a guy who has sold businesses before. And I find out that Icon is not built to sell yet because I didn't have clear processes. I didn't have a team to run on itself, no finances, there was no P&L. Nobody's gonna buy a failing business, nobody. Why would they, right? Shit was just crashing down and I was waking up 4 a.m. every morning to save the business. And there was one moment that I was up 4 a.m. Ruben comes in 5 a.m. from a party. Ruben had his own dropship store in the furnishing niche, which he did like $500,000 in revenue. I grabbed Ruben to the side. I said, Ruben, I'm the one here saving the ship, and you either be the brother of, or you're gonna be the man yourself. And he said, okay, let's fucking do it. Then we have to be on the same speed. You cannot be partners and one is on 120% in and the other one is on 50%. It cannot work like that, right? And in the beginning he didn't get it, and the day after, complete switch.
By 2020, Icon Amsterdam wasn't just an e-commerce store anymore. It had become a brand seen everywhere. Samuel dropped out of school, but he didn't drop the pressure. Because when your first taste of success hits that hard, it only leaves one question. Icon Amsterdam wasn't just a clothing brand anymore. It was a statement, a badge of arrival. And at the center of it all, Samuel Onuha. He became the face of modern e-commerce hustle. Young men wanted to dress like him, think like him, be him. Sales skyrocketed. 100,000 months turned into $2.5 million a month. The formula was working. Fitted clothing, big sales, influencer collaborations, and aggressive ads. Icon owned the aesthetic and the algorithm. And Samuel, he doubled down, bought a villa, moved operations abroad, expanded product lines. Icon was no longer a Dutch startup, it was international. But with every milestone, the stakes got higher. Deadlines, competitors copying his every move. Cash burn increasing. He wasn't just running a brand, he was running an empire. The brothers began hiring aggressively, scaling marketing, chasing growth. And Samuel didn't stop at fashion. With success came influence, and with influence, opportunity. He launched a course, teaching others how to build your own e-com empire, promising freedom, passive income, the laptop lifestyle. What's the price? Nearly $10,000 per student, thousands enrolled. Some found success, some did not, but Samuel was making hundreds of thousands just from teaching others how to chase what he had already caught. Critics called it a cash grab, fans called it genius. Either way, it worked. Icon was booming, the course was booming. Samuel's personal brand was on fire.
First course that we did, a dropshipping masterclass was the name of it. The course were all made based on what we were doing that time. We made many people get to know the business model dropshipping, but to really get those crazy results, it wasn't possible because of course you make videos for people, they watch it in their own time, but you don't get a real connection.
You can do so much more. You can really guide people, you can have people get shit done that they don't even knew that they could do. For me to make an extra 10K a day, it doesn't change a whole lot in my lifestyle or what I can buy. But for me to help someone to go from 0 to 10K a day is completely life-changing.
Okay, so let's start with this one-on-one coaching.
But somewhere in that climb, the story changed. The pressure shifted, the urgency became obsession. Because when you build something this big at this pace, there's no pause button. Success doesn't slow you down, it speeds everything up until you're sprinting into a wall you didn't see coming. What do you do when the machine you built starts running you? Icon wasn't slowing down, it was exploding. The numbers were better than ever. The lifestyle louder than ever. Samuel was everywhere. Dubai rooftops, Monaco yachts, private jets. To his followers, he looked unstoppable. And maybe that's how he felt too. Because when money floods in, when fame becomes normal, and when no one tells you no, a different version of you can take the wheel. He launched more campaigns, more drops, more content. He didn't just want to lead the e-com game, he wanted to dominate it. But beneath the surface, something shifted. Not because things weren't working, but because they were working too well. The money came in so fast, so consistently, that limits started to blur. Boundaries disappeared. Samuel was no longer just a brand owner, he was an icon in his own story, untouchable, or so it seemed. And then, the silence. In March 2025, a raid at the Palm in Dubai changed everything. Samuel Onuha, arrested in Dubai, alongside his brother Ruben. The charge? Drug trafficking. 250 kilos of cocaine, $60 million of worth. Authorities claim Icon Amsterdam was more than a fashion brand, that it was used to launder money from a global smuggling network. But beyond the official narrative, other rumors started circulating. Stories of a massive party thrown on the Palm, A-list guests, excess everywhere, and allegedly drugs. Lots of them. It wasn't the first party, and it likely wouldn't have been the last. But this one, on the Palm in Dubai, drew attention, too much attention. Rumors say police were called, and when they arrived, they didn't just find loud music. They found drugs, a lot of it. A story that sounds like fiction, but the consequences, all too real. Ruben was released on bail. Samuel stayed behind bars. And while their future became uncertain, Icon Amsterdam kept running. The team behind the scenes continued operations, keeping the brand alive. And this wasn't just any arrest. This was Dubai, a country that makes no exceptions when it comes to its laws, especially not with drugs. Samuel's arrest wasn't a dramatic takedown in the streets. According to reports, it happened inside his villa on Palm Jumeirah. Calm, controlled, but unmistakably final. A never-ending party stretching across days ended with flashing lights and headlines around the world. The Dubai police released minimal details. No press conference, no trial updates. Just a name, a charge, and the weight of 250 kilograms. Since then, no official statement from Samuel, no comment from Ruben, just silence. And in that silence, the speculation only grew louder. So what happens now? How long will Samuel stay behind bars? And is this truly the end of his empire? Or just the beginning of something else? As of today, Samuel Onuha remains in custody. No trial date has been made public, no plea entered, no verdict given. He sits in a Dubai holding facility, far from the skyline he once called home. For Ruben, life looks different. Released on bail, he's kept a low profile. No interviews, no statements, just silence. Icon Amsterdam, meanwhile, hasn't shut down. While both brothers were in custody, day-to-day operations didn't collapse. A small core team behind the scenes took over the reins, managing logistics, handling customer service, and keeping the business running. The website stayed live, orders continued, and for many customers, nothing felt out of the ordinary. Now that Ruben has been released on bail, he's quietly stepped back in. Not in front of the camera, not on social media, but inside the business. Sources close to the brand say he's reassumed leadership, stabilizing what the brothers built. Still, not everything continued as before. What once looked flawless from the outside had clearly been shaken from within. Behind the functioning storefront and stable logistics, a different kind of silence settled. One that said things were no longer business as usual. And it's not just the brand. Even his online course, the gateway that promised a new life to thousands, has been impacted. The program is still active, students still receive training, mentors are still in place. But one thing is missing: the live calls with Samuel himself. Those stopped the day he was arrested.
When I hit my first 1K day, I immediately quitted my job.
I stopped with school. My life has completely changed.
I, from the beginning, thought 10K months was a lot. It's nothing.
It opened up my eyes.
I hang out with other people. I listen to other people. I'm in a different environment.
The amounts you could reach, like the money you could accumulate.
It was like the best decision that I had ever made in my life. And it changed my life. It changed my goals, my visions.
The once vibrant social media presence has turned quiet. Influencers have pulled back. Partners remain silent. But how much of what we've seen is the full picture? And how much is still hidden? The man who once sold the dream of financial freedom is now caught in a system where no amount of money can buy it. Dubai's justice system is unforgiving, especially when it comes to narcotics. If convicted, Samuel could face decades, maybe longer. But if he's found innocent, it raises another question. Can a man with that kind of past ever return to the empire he built? And if he does walk free, what version of Samuel Onuha will the world see next? Everyone wanted to be Samuel Onuha, the watchers, the views, the money, but no one saw what was coming, not even him. He sold the idea of freedom through e-commerce, and for a moment, it looked like he had hacked the game. Now, he's facing a future where freedom is no longer measured in money, but in minutes, locked behind bars. The internet moves fast, trends fade, founders fall, but stories like this, they stay. And for every comment that says "Free Samuel," there's another asking the harder question. What did he really build, and at what cost? This isn't just the downfall of an influencer. It's the collision between ambition and accountability. He told thousands of people to chase the dream, that the only limits were the ones you accepted. He preached that discipline, drive, and building your own brand could set you free. But the same discipline that built his success is now the system holding him in a cell. And in Dubai, breaking the rules isn't part of the game, it ends the game. For now, Samuel's empire is still running, orders ship, the site runs, but the man who built it is gone. Ruben, back at the wheel, faces a different kind of challenge. Leading without the face, the energy, the brand that fueled the rise. And if Samuel ever walks free, he may not be returning to the empire he left behind, because that world, that version of e-com fame, may not exist anymore. This story forces us to ask harder questions. Not just about Samuel, but about the ecosystem that created him. A world where followers equal trust, where influence is currency, and where no one asks how the money is made as long as the lifestyle looks right. Icon wasn't a scam. It was a real brand, but was it also a mask? How many other influencers live like this? Double lives, clean on the surface, chaos underneath. Samuel Onuha's story is a mirror for every aspiring founder. Ambition without limits can build empires, but it can also destroy them. Today, his silence echoes louder than any marketing campaign. No new posts, no podcast drops, no tweets. Just a name that once stood for hustle, now caught in a system far outside his control. So what's next? A rebrand, a redemption, or complete disappearance? Empires rise and fall, and sometimes they're never rebuilt. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of Samuel Onuha. Maybe it's the beginning of what comes after.
Just imagine yourself, right? You're 21 years old. You just had your first massive success. You're doing about 400K a month, making consistently like 100K net profit. You moved to Dubai. You're still young. You're still reckless. You're still horny. This took a fucking turn. Until this took a turn. Not for the upside, no. What happened? Success leads to comfort. Comfort leads to failure. I was drifting. If you have read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he explains that most people are drifters, right? They're just like a feather in the wind, being blown from left to right. That was me, but I was on a high, right? Well, I didn't focus on my business no more. I just opened my laptop for 1 or 2 hours a day. Oh, I did 10,000 in revenue a day. How much profit is that? Oh, about 25%. Okay, $2,500. Let's hit the beach club. Let's hit the restaurant. Let's hit the club. I was just living life, fast life, matter of fact. Led to a downfall. Tough times started, so my business was going down as well. If there's one thing that brought me a long way, is just proving people wrong who doubted me. And sometimes I have like this voice in my head that people doubt me. Meanwhile, they might not even doubt me, or I have people. Like, you need an enemy, okay? You need an enemy to go bigger. And to me, it's been always like this me against the world mentality. So I was like, Samuel, they really have no clue what the fuck you're doing. People think you're losing.